What's going on, everyone? Daniel Rodriguez here, and welcome to my non-spoiler review for Passengers. This film stars Chris Pratt, Jennifer Lawrence, Michael Sheen, and in this review, I'm going to be giving you guys my pros, cons, and final score, telling you whether or not you should go check out Passengers in theaters. And I'm a little late on this review. Most likely, it's out of the theater. But, wait for it. 4 theaters. Okay, out of the way. Oh wait, to check it out on rental, wait for TV/streaming, or maybe just never see this movie at all. The story of Passengers, without spoiling anything. There's a ship, and it is traveling to a new galaxy or a new planet, and a bunch of people are on this ship that left Earth and are moving to a new planet to call home. And it's like a 150-year journey. Chris Pratt wakes up early for some reason, and and then later on Jennifer Lawrence, and it's there you go, Passengers. Starting off with the pros, something that really caught my eye early on was the CGI. Space does look very beautiful in this film. Passing planets, asteroids, everything in here, man, what you can imagine in space. It is very beautiful. I absolutely love the ship, the way it's designed. It's very interesting. The interior and the inside of the ship is interesting as well, the way they designed it. And the one thing I really like about Passengers that I think that it didn't hit the mark was the story, because the story is very interesting. And this is where Chris Pratt comes in, because Chris Pratt does have time to himself, maybe for the first 20 minutes of the film, the first 25, 30 minutes of the film. It really is centered on Chris Pratt at first. And the way he plays it off is so well, and it's almost like, I just wish this movie was like this. Just have Chris Pratt in here and that's it. Nobody else, him alone on this ship, it would be fantastic. But that's not exactly where it went. Obviously, it has a bigger picture in there, and then Jennifer Lawrence comes, and she's good as well. She's really good in this film. It's not her best performance, but it's not her worst either. She's good in this film, and their chemistry is fine. Chris Pratt and Jennifer Lawrence, the two big Hollywood stars finally meeting and in a film together. It's not like, oh, this was the worst thing ever or something like that. No, like, their chemistry is good in this film. Michael Sheen's in here. He is a bartender robot, which he's fantastic in here with his witty lines. The story is really cool. I love the concept of it. I love the design of the ship. I love what they have inside the ship. I'll just name a few things. A basketball court, a regular bar, this little area. I mean, there's multiple things you can do on this ship. So once you wake up and you're waiting to arrive, once you're like maybe a year out or something, or when you're almost there to the planet, you have multiple things to do. It's like a resort. It's like a cruise, but you're cruising in space. So when the time comes and there's trouble on the horizon, the action is good in here. It does deliver. It's not great. It doesn't make me pop out of my seat and be like, oh my god, they did that, they did this. Like, if you've seen the trailers, you kind of see already what's going to happen. And that's the thing about it, is this film is predictable to an extent. It's not like 100% is not predictable, but there are a percentage of it that is predictable. You can kind of guess on how this is going to end. Okay, this is in space, but I've seen films like this before where they have to do this or they have to do that, and you kind of put 2 and 2 together, and 50 minutes before the end, you're like, this is how it's going to end. And it does. This is not a spoiler, technically. If you've seen the trailer for Passengers, you see that Lawrence Fishburne is in the film. He is wasted in this film, and I know he doesn't have a huge role. He's maybe less, I'm just going to say hypothetically, less than 20 minutes, just kind of give you a little hope there. Less than 20 minutes. But he's so wasted in this film, because what he does in this film, and then after, you're kind of like, it really wasn't needed. He just did this or that, and that was it. Like, it wasn't needed. He wasn't needed in this film, nor the ending. The way that it ended, the last 25 seconds of the film, it's like you could have gotten anybody. You could have gotten a regular Joe selling frickin' corn cups at the end of the street in Hollywood to do that. You didn't have to get this person. What are you leading up to? The movie's over, Jack. The movie's over. There's nothing left to do. Why'd you get that actor? Now, I did see Passengers at the beginning of January, the first week of January, actually, and it's almost February. We're literally, 2 days away from February? So it's been a while since I've seen Passengers, and I'm sorry I'm getting my review out very late, but it is a forgettable film. There are forgettable things. Like, this ain't a film where I walked out and I was like, that was the greatest thing ever, this and that. There is a weight to it that it has of what Chris Pratt's actions does for Jennifer Lawrence's character. There is that. And I think that's what a lot of people brought up in many reviews and many discussions. It's like, well, they never meant, like, oh, that's what he did. I mean, there's no emotion, like, there's no weight or consequence for that or anything like that. But then again, I find it's a Hollywood movie. That's like playing a video game and being like, why is this happening? That's not realistic, or what's the consequence? It's a video game. It's not real. This is a movie. It's not real. This ain't a drama. This ain't going for an Oscar nomination. Calm down. It's just a film, and you got the two biggest Hollywood stars, and that's it. Now, the story was great, but it didn't deliver to an extent. I liked the mythology and the lore behind it, but then again, they gave us a few things, but they never really gave us the whole yard. They never gave us the whole ruler. They never gave us more. They should have gave us more, and then they left us in the dark. And the story, again, it started off well. Chris Pratt was really good in here. Jennifer Lawrence is good in here as well. But it goes, and it's good. The first act's really good. The second act's good. And then it falls apart in certain areas. For me, it's an okay film. And even though it's not in theaters anymore, I wouldn't have recommended you guys to check it out in theaters either way. I say it's a movie for TV. And yes, high budget and the action and this and it's all that, but it's okay. It's an okay film. It's not a film that was the best film of 2016. I didn't have a jolly good, like, I didn't walk out happy like, oh wow, I can't wait to review this. No, it wasn't horrible, not by any means. It just it was on the right direction, and it was interesting, and it's interesting to an extent. And then it I don't know really how to describe it. It just it went somewhere. And I just wish it went that direction instead of this direction. Do we get to see Earth 2? Disappointment in the air. All the disappointment coming up. Anyway, I'm going to give Passengers a 6.3 out of a 10. Thanks so much for watching, everyone. If you enjoyed, make sure to smack that like button. You can comment down below. Tell me what you guys thought about Passengers. Did you enjoy it? Did you not? Do you agree with me? Do you disagree with me? Share it with your friends and hit that subscribe button for more awesome movie reviews coming every single week in 2017 and beyond. Till next time, bye-bye.